We now have the beginnings of a Rails app, and we've already got it up on Heroku, so we can test out what it will look and feel like to the entire world. Let's flesh it out a little. We'll start with making a proper list of the users we have in our database in our index view. We'll edit the index.html.erb file and put in a header HTML tag with the text user list. And we'll create an unordered list with the UL tag. Now we'll use Ruby's .each loop to go through each of the users in our users variable. The users variable we see here is an instance variable that we declared inside of our users controller, where we assigned it the value of user.all, which returns an array of all the users in our database. We'll send each of the items in our users variable into a block as the user variable, and for each user we'll print out his name and his email. Notice that to show the name and email of the user, I add an equal sign to the ERB open tag to denote that I want to display the result of this Ruby code on the page. You'll notice that the other ERB tags don't have the equal sign because I don't want to show the results of those codes on the page. Let's save this and test this out in our browser. Alright, we've got a more readable list of the users we have in our database. Now, let's try and show a single user's details in the show page. We'll now edit our user's show.html.erb file. For the heading of the page, I'll just use the user.name value. The user variable here, of course, is the one that we defined in our users controller, which takes the parameter ID and finds a user with that ID and assigns it to our user variable. And then I'll make a paragraph which says email and then show user.email. I can now save this and view my show page by going to /users/1, which should show me the details of the first user in my database, or to be more specific, the user with the ID of 1. Uh-oh, I've got an error here. It says no route matches get/users/1. Let's check out our routes to find out what's going on. Aha! It seems like my routes was initially expecting a URL like /users/show/ID to go to the show action of the users controller. But it seems more intuitive to say /users/ID to get a user with a particular ID. So I'll change my route to say that /users/:ID will route to the show action of the user's controller with the ID being sent as a parameter, so the action can find a user with the ID sent in the URL. Let's try it out again. Yay! And what if I change the ID part of the URL to 2? It shows the user with the ID 2. Excellent! We are now able to list all of our users in the index page and show the details of one specific user on our show page. Next, we'll need to be able to create new users using a form in our browser instead of having to create them in the console. We'll be doing that in the next video.